my audio is clear and I'm visible to all of you? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, all right. So, like we do in the every session, before we begin today's session, we will do a short the Naam Japna of the Maha Mantra Hare Ram Hare Krishna. Okay. So let's begin. You can close your eyes. Okay, you can join your hands, and those who want to do with the beats, you can do with your beats. Okay. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Okay, we can begin the session now. So can all of you switch on your videos? And I can see Anaka was doing it very nicely, very sincerely. Okay. All right. So now before we begin, the first session for this week, I want to know what was the topic of our last Bhagavad Gita session? What did we discuss in our last session, if anyone remembers? You can tell me together what we discussed last week. We started the week with a very important, very interesting topic last week. Yes, Arijit.
I remember. Was it that king guy?
King? No, Bhagavad Gita. Maybe we did a very interesting topic on Tuesday, then on Friday also. Okay, Anaga knows.
Existence of God.
Yes, very good. And before that, which topic we had done?
Existence of ghost.
Yes, and before that we did host. Remember these two topics? It was for the previous week. So in the previous session we had learned, right, how there is God, okay? And there are few reasons, why despite his existence, we are not being able to see him, we're not being able to hear him. There were certain limitations and those were due to our senses, right? So without any further ado, now we will begin today's session, okay? And the topic for today's session. So yeah, and if you have any doubts, we'll take that in the end of the session. Okay, so we'll begin the session. Okay, is there anything else apart from this that you want to ask? You can share in the beginning of the class. Okay. All right. Now I'll share my screen. Just let me know if it's visible. So this is the topic for today's session. So what's the topic for today's session? Yes, Siddhika, can you read out what's the session? What's the topic for today's session?
Mystery of Dharma.
Yes.
Karma.
Good. It's the mystery of karma. So we had discussed, right, earlier also in one of the sessions that what is karma. Who will tell me what is karma? Again, Anaga is always ready. Okay, Anaga, yes. Others also you can participate, okay? Yes, Anaga.
Karma is a thing which is like when we are doing something in the next life, we will get the same thing.
Yes, that's correct. So, whatever actions we do in this life, be it good or bad, as per that, we will get the reactions in the next life. Okay. So, today we will understand this in deep. Okay. We'll continue. So, first of all, we'll see what is the meaning of karma. All the activities that we perform, physical activities. Okay. So what we sow, we reap. Okay, this is something which we can which we had understood in the previous session also, that whatever is the our actions, whatever kind of actions we perform, as per that we get the results. Okay, so karma, you understood what is the meaning of karma? Yes, Arijit, you want to say something?
I was
Yes.
saying that karma is also something that depends on whatever you do. It's
Hmm.
also so you see, if you're a hunter and you had killed animal,
Hmm.
whatever pain from the animal you got, you'll do it in the next life. And if you want to, if you had a dream place but you could not afford it in your whole entire life, there will be chances that you will be able to go there.
Yes, that's correct. Here you also, you just give a quick recap of desire also. If you have a certain desire, then you will get that. Okay, very good. Okay. Now, so yes. So we understood what was karma. Okay. Now we will understand there are different types of karma also. Okay. So you can pay attention here. Now there are three types of karma. Okay. First is sukarma, second is vikarma, and third is akarma. Okay. So in when we say in Hindi, we say karm, but in English we say karma. Okay. So that's why it's pronounced as sukarma, vikarma, and akarma. Now, did you understand its meaning? No, right? So let's go. We'll understand with the help of an example. Okay. Now, sukarma. Now, this is basically very simple. The meaning of sukarma is good activities. Okay, whatever is good, good actions, those are known as sukarma. Okay. Now, these are some examples like helping someone, telling the truth. Okay, and then doing your duties properly. This is all sukarma. Whatever you should be doing. Okay, that is good activity, sukarma. Vikarma, very easy. The opposite of sukarma. Okay, meaning bad actions. Okay, telling lie, theft, cheating, angry, or teasing someone. So now we just discussed that good activities are known as sukarma, bad activities are known as vikarma. Now, what is akarma according to you? If anyone wants to make a guess, like what could be the third category? If anyone wants to try, yes, yes, Arijit, and you can tell me.
Um, I think Vikarma means doing something like arguing, that becoming jealous over someone, becoming
That is
angry.
Yes, that is Vikarma, meaning the one which we just discussed, the second kind, Vikarma. But we also learned there's three types, right? So we discussed good is Sukarma, bad is Vikarma. So there is a third type also. What could that be? Okay, yes, Athar, you can try.
Ma'am, I think akarma means bad activities and good activities.
Okay, you're quite close. Okay. Okay, last Anaga will try, then we will see what does it actually mean, okay? Siddhika, you also want to try? Your hand is raised. Okay. Yes, yes, say Anaga.
Ma'am, I think it is good habits and bad habits.
Okay, close enough. And Siddhika, you can also try.
Ma'am, yesterday I was present. You marked me absent.
Okay, we will take these kind of doubts in the end, okay? We'll see that. We'll get that checked. Okay. All right. So now let's see what is akarma. So, what do you think akarma is? Is it good or bad? You all shared your thoughts. So, let's see what's written here. Neither bad nor good reactions, spiritual activities are done under this. So, you all made a close guess that it can be both good or bad, but it is actually neither good nor bad. Okay, it is very neutral. It has no marking, nor good nor bad. Now you're doing chanting, you're doing meditation, okay, you're doing these kind of things. They don't fall under good also, they don't fall under bad also. Okay, we will see why. So that is akarma. Okay, now to understand this further, we will have to understand the three laws also of karma. Okay, that how does karma actually work. Okay, so now in science, I don't know if by, like all of you, if you have been taught by now the laws of action. There are three laws, okay? So there's one of them, which is every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Okay, this is there in science. It has a formula also this way. Okay, you will learn in physics in your science classes. If some of you must have already learned, and some of you must be learning it in your higher classes. So this is also very much applicable to uh, karma. Okay, in what happens here is that whatever you do, you reap the same thing. Okay, not in a bigger amount, nor in a smaller amount, in the equal amount. Okay, so it has an equal and opposite reaction. In science, they only deal with this in the form of motion, but in when we talk about karma, it deals with everything. Okay, so karma is impartial. Also, we see here that it is impartial, meaning, it doesn't do partiality with anyone. Suppose like Atharv did something good, okay, then he will get a good result. Now, if Anaga also did something good, it's not like, no, Anaga will not get. If she also did something good, she will also get. There is no impartiality. Or if it's nothing like, if someone did something very bad, then and the other person also did that same bad thing, so one of them will be punished more and the other one will be punished less. Nothing like that. Okay, it is very equal and very fair. But how do in this also we will take an example here. Now see, what is this? In the first picture we see that there's a small girl, she got her hand burnt, and now there's this young boy, he also got his hand burnt. Okay, so when someone, if it touch a fire or something, does the fire do like, no, she is a small girl, so I won't hurt her much? It doesn't do like that. It is equal, right? Even if a baby will touch, it will hurt the baby also in the same way. So here, this is an example that it is very impartial. It doesn't know. Now the girl, she did it very innocently. She did not know that the fire will harm her. But still, there will be an equal and opposite reaction. Okay, it is impartial. Another example is of rain also. Now, when it's raining outside, it's not like the small kids like you, cute, cute kids, they don't get wet. Even you get wet, right? So even we elders, we get wet. So it is like there is no partiality in karma. Okay. Now, karma cannot be neutralized, okay? Or karma cannot be transferred. Now, what does this mean? This means that if you do bad deeds, okay, after good ones, it doesn't mean there won't be a reaction. Now, what this means here is this, that suppose you did something very bad, okay? Today, I did something very bad. Let's take my example. And I'm like, no, okay. What I will do in the evening, no, I will do some good activity. I will do some charity, or I will help the poor. So it will, it will balance out the bad karma that I did. But it will not be like that, okay? If I have done something bad, I will get the bad results of that. And if I have done something good, it will be that way. So this is what is the meaning of this line, that karma cannot be neutralized. And karma cannot be transferred. It means here, now suppose Arijit did something bad. Okay. Now it cannot be that, we can transfer the results of that to Siddhika. We cannot do that. If he did something bad, he will get the result. If Siddhika did something bad, she will get the result. That way. Okay. It cannot be transferred to one another, neither to your family members, no one. Okay. Next, we see here cause and effect. Okay, this is very simple to understand. Okay, bad karma, what does it lead to? Punishment, and good karma to reward. Now, why is this system there? Now, see, if someone who does something bad, they do not get a punishment, then they will, not stop it. There will be no system. There will be no proper system. And good, those who do good deeds, how will they be motivated? Continue the good deeds. So that's why this system is there, the system of cause and effect. Okay, it's there in your schools also. Even in schools, if you don't do your homework, if you do not wear your proper uniform, you do not go to school on time, there are rules and regulations, right? So the system is there. Okay, we will take your doubt in the end. Okay, Arijit, I know you have a question. We'll take that in the end. Okay. All right. Next we have learned three laws of karma. Okay, what are the three laws? Wait, I will change the slide. Who can tell me the first law of karma that we just discussed? First law of karma. Okay, first. Okay, Anaga will tell me the first law. Arijit will tell me the second law, and Atharv will tell me the third law. Okay, and Saicharan will answer me in the next question. Where are you? Let me. Where is Anaga? Where did she go? You can raise your hand that way, Anaga, because 1 minute. Yes. What's the first law that we just discussed?
To karma.
No. First law. First law. Okay, no worries. Sai Charan, can you help her? First law that we just discussed.
Ma'am, karma cannot be.
Okay, no worries. It's okay. We all will learn it together again. Then I will ask. Okay. Okay, see here. Everyone's here. We have learned three laws of karma. Okay. First law, what was it? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. What does this mean? That whatever amount of action we do, be it good or bad, in the same amount we will get the result. Okay. And second law, what did we discuss? Karma is impartial. You understand by the term of impartial? There is no partiality, no biasness. Third, we discussed karma can't be neutralized. Okay, neutralized meaning you cannot get it transferred to anyone, or you cannot be it like, today in the morning I did something bad, in the evening I'll do something good, so it will be balanced off. Nothing like that. Okay, if it's bad, you'll get the bad result. If you did something good, you'll get the good result. So any doubts with the three laws of karma that we discussed till now? No doubts? Okay, now we will discuss. Okay, so now tell me who will give me the first law of karma. Who wants to answer? Okay, Ariji, say.
Karma, it cannot be neutralized.
Okay, that's the third law. Okay, so we have the third law. The first law. First law was quite long, right, to read out. Who can tell me the first law? Atharv, you know the first law? You can tell in your own words also. Okay, you can tell me the second one.
Ma'am, the second one is karma is impartial.
Yes, that's correct. Now, who will tell me the last one, the first one? The one which was written very long, but you can tell me in your own words. Anyone wants to try? You know, Rutvika? Okay. Yes, Rutvika.
Every action has equal and opposite reactions.
Yes, very good. So these are the three laws of karma. Okay, and you need to understand this and remember it. That's why, I asked you all again and again. So if you have any doubts also regarding these three laws now, you can ask. Okay, you can ask at the end also. You can drop in the chat box also now. We will take it in there. Okay, now we will continue with the, yes. Now, I have ever wondered, good with bad people, it happens, usually like this, that good things happen with bad people and bad things happen with good people. Many a times it happens like this, right? Now, why does this happen? We just saw that karma is impartial. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Karma cannot be neutralized. Then why does this happen? Now, this also, there's a reason behind it, okay? Because this karma, the way it works, it's very vast. Okay, so this we will understand. Now, this is why does this happen? This is because due to past activities. Which past activities are we referring to here? The past activities that we did in the morning or we did yesterday, day before yesterday? No, we're referring to the past activities which we have been doing for our lives, from our previous life, before our that life, whatever. So all those past activities are being carried forward. Okay, so now there's a story here. Okay, in this picture you can see there are two farmers here. Okay, in this picture we will understand why this happened with their story. So his name is Ram, okay, the one who is wearing the hat, and his name is Shyam, okay. So what happened, these both of them, they had sowed their seeds of corn, okay, and Ram, who's smiling here, he had done lot of lot of hard work. What he did, he had sowed his seeds, he used to water them properly on time, he used to take care of them, everything he did a lot of hard work, okay. Sham, on the other hand, he was lazy. He did not do anything, okay, on his first year of harvest. He did not do anything. So you can see in the picture what happened. Ram, he got the results of his actions. He got his farming was very good that year. He got lots of yummy tasty corns, okay. But Shyam, on the other hand, his land is barren. There is nothing on his land. Why? Because he did not do any action. He did not do any hard work. So how will he get the fruits, right? So what happened next year, when next year came, this time what happened? Ram, okay, he thought that I have already grown so many corns last year. This year I will not grow anything. Okay. And what did Shyam do? Shyam was like, last year I made this mistake, of being lazy, and I could not, could not sow any plant, any corn. So this year I will do a lot of hard work. Okay. They decided it this way. So what happened? That in the second year, okay, when the season was there of the harvest and everything, Shyam got his fruits, but Ram did not get. But what happened? When these corns, they are stored, when the corns come out, you can see this seed bag here. Ram had already stored his seed bag, right? His corns in the seeds. So they make a small hole on the seed bag, okay, at the end. So which corn will come out first? The ones which you had put first, right? You had put first. The ones which you have put later will not come. So in the same way, what happened? Ram was still getting the fruits of the plant that he had sown last year, but Shyam was not getting that. That is because he will get it, but he will get it at a later time, right? Why? Because he just did it this year. But Ram already has it. He already did it from last year. Like, are you following what the story is? Or is it a little confusing? I'll make it a little more simple. So Ram had already stored his seeds in a storage bag. Okay, he had it from last year. But Shyam seeds, since he had sown it just this year, it's not yet ready, right? So in his bag there is nothing. But does this mean that Shyam did not work this year? He worked, right? But he is not getting the results yet. And Ram, he did not work this year. He was lazy this year, but last year he had worked. So that is what happens, with good people and bad people. Sometimes bad people, they are just getting the results of the good deeds which they did in their past life. Okay. And whatever bad deeds they're doing now in this life, they will get that, but not now, at a later time. Just like the seeds, just like those corns of Ram and Shyam. And same way, good people, maybe they did something bad in their past life and they're getting those results now. And whatever bad they will do in this life, they will get in their future life. So this is how it works. It's just a matter of time here. It's just that, we do not get our results very instantly. Okay. So this question is answered, that why bad people, sometimes good things happen with bad people and bad things happen with good people. Is it clear? Show me a thumbs up if it's clear. Okay, all right. Now we will move forward. Now, why do we still experience the results of our past life actions? Okay, now, what is the reason that we still experience them? It happened in past life, so it should have finished in the past life only, right? Why is it continuing in this life? So, the result is because of instant results and late results. Okay, now this also we will understand with an example here. Now, this is a story of Dhritarashtra. Okay. Now, first, before I tell you the story, who will tell me who is Dhritarashtra? Okay. Yes, Arijit.
He was he was the father of both Pandavas and Kauravas.
No, not both Pandavas and Kauravas. He was the father of Kauravas. Okay. And he was the uncle of Pandavas. Okay. So, he was Duryodhan's father of the 100 Kauravas. So, okay. Yes, Shraddha also knew the answer, right? Okay. I see, who raises the hands. I see who knows the answer, but we only one person, I can only pick one at a time. So, so yes, the story here, now we're coming back to the story. So we all know that what happened. You know how many sons Dhritarashtra had? He had 100 sons, right? So Dhritarashtra's 100 sons died during the Mahabharata. This is also, we know this, right? Now, he, after the war was over, King Dhritarashtra, he went to Lord Krishna, okay? He asked him that, you know, what happened that 100 sons, my 100 sons died. What have I done? Like, okay, there was a war. My 10 sons could have died, 5, 2, but 100, all of them died. What did I do like this? Krishna, I'm very sad. Like, I want to know. Then Krishna told him that, on the 50 lives back, okay, 50 lives back, you are a hunter. See, 50 lives back, you are a hunter. And what did you do? You had, with your arrow, you had killed 100, there were 100 eggs of one bird, okay, and she was taking care of those eggs. So he, being a hunter, he had destroyed those eggs, those 100 eggs of a bird, okay. Dhritarashtra had done that. So of that particular, and that was not like just one life, 2 life back. It was Dhritarashtra 50 years life back. He had done that. Okay. So of that 50 life years back result, when did he get 50? Now, at the time of Mahabharata, he got that result. Okay. Then he also asked him that why did I get it now, like after 50 years, like after 50 lives, not 50 years, also after 50 lives, why so long? Then Lord Krishna said, now to you had 100 sons, to get one child also, you have to do some good deeds, because not everyone can have this opportunity that you can have a child, you have a baby. So you had to cultivate those good deeds in your those 50 lives, so that on your you will get 100 sons. Okay, you know what is punya? Good deeds. Okay, that is why it took 50 lives for you to actually develop, to collect those good deeds, so that you can get 100 sons. And then once you got your those 100 sons, they were taken away from you. Why? Because you had to feel the same pain which the bird also went through. That is what. So karma happened here. Okay. And how much time did it take? 50 lifetimes it took. Means he had taken rebirth 50 times. And then he got this. Okay. So this is why there's the time difference. This is how we understood it through the example. And there are certain cases also wherein the results are very instant. Okay, like you've done something bad, and that very moment something bad happens with you. So this is how karma it works. If it's the time and everything, it cannot be decided from before. It you will get, that is for sure. You will get your result, but will it be soon or will it be later in the future? That is something which we cannot comprehend. Okay. Now, moving on, we have, now there are two types of thinking also. Okay. Now, before moving on to the thinking, we discussed how many types of karma are there? Show me with your fingers. There are 3 types of karma. 3. Yes, Arijit, there are 3. Okay. So, and now don't get this confused with thinking. Okay. Now, here we will be talking about the thinking. Now, one of the type of thinking is karmavada. Okay. And the other one is devata. Now, what is the difference between these two thinkings? So the ones who are karmavada, they say it means those who trust their actions but not God. These people who believe in this thinking, they say that since everything is the result of our actions, that means I can control everything. If I will control my actions, then my results will also be in control. So that means I am in control of everything. This is their belief. Okay. And what do Devavada think? They think that those who leave everything to God, they say that what will I do if everything is already decided? Let me leave everything to God. So these two types of thinkings are there. Okay. Now, according to you all, now you tell me. Okay, as per the description that I gave you of the two types of thinking, which one you think is better or which one is best? Karmavada or Devata? You can tell me one by one. Okay. Yes, Athas.
Ma'am, Karmavada.
Okay. What about Arijit?
I think it's the second one.
Devata.
It's kind of true about the first one, because if you do good deed, you do get the good result. So both of them are pretty correct.
Okay, according to Arijit, it's both. Others also, you can just tell me. Tell me what. Yes, yes, Navika. Hmm.
Karm Ardravata.
Okay, the first one you mean, right? Okay. And the others also, everyone can tell me, or you can drop in the chat box, whatever you think. Yes, Siddhika.
Devata.
Okay. Sai Charan, you also want to say, according to you?
Ma'am, second one.
Okay. All right. Now we will see which one is.
करना का किसी पढ़ाई पे चुका झूठ क्यों की पढ़ाई
Hare Krishna Mate Sadar Pranam. You are on mute actually.
I'm so sorry. Okay. I'll just continue. Thank you, Mataji. Okay. So what I was saying. Okay. So here the answer to the question is mix of both is good. Okay. A mix of both is good. How? Because see, now there's an example here. If you have studied a lot, but you fall sick during the exam, then you will take the exam. That's why everything that then you will not take the exam, right? You've prepared very well. You've studied all your syllabus. You've completed all your chapters. So a Karan Veda person, what will he think? He will think that I have studied, have done my hard work. Now the result will be very good. Everything is in my control. But can he control his health? Can he control his sickness? No, right? So everything is not in hands. What was in his hand? Only preparing for the exam, doing his hard work was in his hands. And what would the other person think? The second category that we discussed, the Devata. They will not study only in the first place. They will think that God is there, he will see, so they will not study. So both of them, single-handedly they are not correct. But a mix of both. A mix of both how? That you do your part, you do your studies, you do your hard work, but leave the results to God. Okay, that sounds better, right? You do your actions, but leave the results of those actions to God. So a mixture of both is better. Okay, that is what Arijit also said here. So that a mixture of both is good. Okay, now there is a verse. Okay, there is a shloka in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, today we will recite this. What does Bhagavad Gita say about karma? Okay, now who wants to recite it with me can raise up their hand. Okay, Arijit, Atharva, and Ritvika. Okay. Okay, we will take all of them who have raised their hands. Okay, we can take Shraddha also, Navika also. And the ones who are in mute, you can do it on your mute only, okay? Shraddha, you can unmute yourself. Atharv, you can unmute yourself. Arijit also. And Anaga also. Okay. So I think you are on mute, unmute now. Rutvika, yes. कर्माणि इवाधिकारस्ते
कर्माणि
मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूः मा ते सङ्गोऽस्थ कर्मणि कर्माणि इवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूः मा ते सङ्गोऽस्थ कर्मणि Okay, so now we will see the translations of this. If you can mute from your side, you can mute it. Okay. So, what is the meaning of this shlok? What does Bhagavad Gita say about karma? You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities and never be attached to not doing your duty. So, even Bhagavad Gita, it says that just on your part, just do your actions, okay? But do not keep keep thinking about the results. Why? Because it is not in your hands. Like we just saw the example of exams. You were preparing well for your exams, but who knew that you will fall sick on the day of the exam? Nobody knew, right? So the results is never in your hands. Okay, so therefore, never consider yourself the cause of the results and don't consider that, this happened because of me or like this. And never be attached. Also, don't be attached to not doing your duty. Because if you'll be thinking too much about the result, you will not be focused on your actions. Okay, so this is what Bhagavad Gita says. In short, do your duty, do not worry about the results. So, and in the end of this is what we always say: chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare. Okay, so now we can take the doubts for today's session. And whoever has doubts can keep their hand raised. Okay, so before we take the doubts, what we discussed today, we discussed about karma, the types of karma, the laws of karma. Then we discussed that why bad things happen with good people, why good things happen with bad people. We also discussed why it takes so much time to for us to get our results, and also that what kind of thinking is proper, okay, to be attached to the results or not. So this is what we discussed. Now you can ask your questions. Yes, Aditi.
So I was thinking, can you go back for a few slides?
I'll share my screen again.
The king one, the 100 crores.
Dhritarashtra.
Yeah, him.
Okay, is my screen visible to you? Aditi? Is the screen visible?
It's good behind this one. So you see, if you had killed 100 baby eggs of the mom, okay, he had so he had killed, okay, but you see, 100 eggs is this, but you said after 50 years. So how can he do that much duties in 50 years to get 100 sons? Because he should be getting only 50 sons.
No. It's like 50 years is just a count here, but to get 100 sons, he had collected that many deeds, good deeds. Now, maybe in one particular lifetime, he did more good deeds. So it's that way. Deeds, it's measured in a different way. It's not like he had to take 100 lifetimes to get 100 sons. The 50 count here is just about the lifetime that he lived to get those 100 sons. Okay. He could have got 100 sons after 5 lifetimes also if he had already collected that many deeds. But the amount of good deeds that was required to get 100 sons.
But teacher, what if this he had not killed the thing, but like there's another hunter, okay? Example, okay? So he was watching the bird, okay? He was watching the bird, and there's a hunter. He shot the arrow. But what if instead of him shooting it, someone else shooted it, but then he blocked it, like he like sacrificed himself for the bird. So what will happen next?
So in that case, he will be, as per his action scene. But he sacrificed his life to save someone else's life, right? So that is a good thing, okay, to save someone else. So he will get the results as per that. He'll get good results. Okay.
What do you mean? Can you give me an example by what do you mean instant karma? I don't get it. What's the meaning of
Instant karma, it means like, see, when you touched fire, right at that time you felt the heat, your hand got burned, right? It's not like you touched fire and after 10 years your hand will burn. At that very moment, right? So that is instant karma. At that very moment you get it.
So can you tell another example? Because that example is pretty like I don't understand that much.
Okay, now there are some other examples also very, you'll see in your day-to-day life also. Now, suppose if you are getting late for school, okay? That is a bad thing. You should have woken up early in the morning, got ready, but you woke up late, you took time, you slept late at night, you're late in school. So you will get scolding in the assembly only. It's not like teacher will scold you next week for coming late today. They will scold you right there and then. So these are small examples. So certain are instant karmas, which are small ones, right? They are
what if so you mean so in the so now this is a different question. So you remember when you said that past karma also affects life? So what if you see you are then what if you example a boy, take a regular boy, his name is Raju, okay? He did a lot of good deeds in his past life, but in this life he did some bad deeds, okay? So
if he did, yeah. So if he did good deeds in his previous life, okay, he will still get the good results of that life, of
no,
that.
he did little bit bad, but he did a lot of like he prayed to God.
So that is what we discussed, right, in the laws of karma, that if you've done bad, you'll get the portion of that result, and whatever good you have done, it cannot be neutralized. Okay, you cannot balance a bad karma with good karma. You cannot balance good with bad. Bad will have bad result. Good will have good result. Okay.
So if you do something bad, you're just choosing your own fate. You're just choosing your own fate.
If you're doing something bad, yes, you're just like
Choosing
inviting.
your own path, bad or good.
Yes, it's your decision. Yeah.
I just
Yes, and I see your doubt in the chat also. You were asking what's the meaning of impartiality. So it means no biasness. Okay. It means there's no biasness. Anyone else has any doubts can raise up their hand. Yes, Anaga and Atharv has a doubt. Yes, Anaga, we'll go first with you.
How did Dhritarashtra have 100 sons?
How did he have? So see, if you will ever watch Mahabharata or you will read about it, no, you will see that his 100 sons, they were born through a very scientific way. Okay, what we know as IVF now in present day, they were born in small pots. Okay, and it was done through, and who helped them? Ved Vyas ji helped them. Okay, and it's a very scientific method through which 100 sons were given birth. So you can see that in the if you will ever watch Mahabharata, you can read also more about it. It was a method. Our science, our technology was very advanced at that time. Okay. Any more doubts, Anaga?
No, ma'am.
Yes, Atharv.
I'm like, if
Yes.
Dhritarashtra did 50 good deeds in one life.
Okay.
Next, in his next life, he did 100 bad deeds.
Okay.
He did not even do one good deed.
Okay.
Now, what will be the impact on the good deeds?
So the impact of good deeds will be like this, that whatever 50 good deeds he did, okay, he will get the good result of those 50 good deeds. And whatever 100 good deeds he did, he will get the 100 bad results separately. It is not like this, that 100 minus 50, now only 50 bad deeds, bad results he will get. Not like that. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Any more else doubts? Anyone else or anything else you want to share that you did not understand a particular topic? Yes, Saicharan.
Ma'am, can I leave?
Yes, yes. If you don't have any doubt, you can leave. Okay. So from my end, this was all for today. Okay, we will again meet in the next class. So if there's anything which you don't understand, if you will have any more further doubts, you can always message your facilitator ma'am or coordinator ma'am also in the doubts group. Okay. Now we will meet again on Friday. Okay. Day after tomorrow again we will meet with a new topic. So till then, whatever we have discussed, the shlokas that we have discussed in the sessions, get that memorized. Okay. And then you will like it. Well, if you will tell your friends also in school, I know Sanskrit shlokas by heart. It's very nice, right? To learn new things. So, okay. Okay. So Shilpi ma'am, do we have anything to announce? We can end.
Hare Krishna Mate Sadar Pranam. Yes, we can wind up.
So Hare Krishna, everyone.